Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Season 3 of Turtle Wars. We're at episode 10 now, and I'm gonna be real. This is the main event I was looking forward to the most heading into this season. Finally getting to see these two machines duke it out again. The scope of this grudge, this rivalry, it goes back years and years. Way back to pre-series, what was it now, 4, when these two first became the big two, the best two machines, no question about it, and that lasted for a very, very long time. Pitting now the two newest versions of these machines against each other, TR5, Derpy 18.0, a spot at a 3-0 record, right? Guaranteed probably like a top 3 seed for whoever wins this, right? TR5 obviously runners up last year. The Derpy machine, Derpy 17.0, ended up fourth. So, maybe TR5 is the favorite here, but it's going to be a great match, and I'm super excited to see how it ends up going. In the meantime, two 1-1 high tier machines. The biggest cheese, who got a pretty surprising victory, in my opinion, over Conundrum Evo in the last round. Rewind, in the meantime, took a loss to Gravity. It happens. It's going to be interesting to see which machine is able to head to 2-1 because the caliber of opponents that these machines have faced has been they've been good, but not great, So I'm not sure if a win would necessarily guarantee playoffs or what. Uh, After that, Red Bull and Dual Welded are going to fight for a what's the word? Courtesy win. Both machines 0-2, very poor performances this year. Dual Welded, very unique weapon. Red Bull is Red Bull. Both 0-2. Losers eliminated. Winner is still probably eliminated. So, yeah. After that, the 2-0 Red Bull takes on the 0-2 OTA. Oh, wait, Red Bull. Red Hand. A win here for Red Hand puts them into the playoffs, probably looking at one of the best seeds. I'm going to be honest. It's probably going to happen. After that, Devil fights off being 0-3 against Distraught, who are looking to advance to 2-1. Now, Devil, it's been a tough season, tough couple of losses, hoping they can bounce back. Distraught, in the meantime, probably could have been 2-0 at this point, so we'll see what they can do. Revenge of Armageddon, 2-0. Wavelength, 1-1. Wavelength need to win this match. A loss here could mean the end of their season. They've had a very hard schedule, but they definitely need to pull this off. And it would be very disappointing to see them go out before the bracket stage of the competition because we know how good of a machine they are. After that, two 1-1 low-tier machines take each other on. Vertigo from Team Havoc Bots. Very solid flipper, picked up a win in the last round after a disappointing first round loss. Apocalyptic won a highlight fight in round 1, got bested by Demonic in round 2. Both these machines very low to the ground. A lot of power in Apocalyptic's weapon. We'll see who wins it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Turtle Wars. We are back in the arena for episode 9. No, 10. 10th episode. Crazy. We open this episode up with the biggest cheese against Rewind. Two 1-1 high tier machines. A win here is going to likely be pushing them towards a playoff spot. For Rewind, they've gone with the vertical spinner attachment. They're undefeated with that. They took out Vicio very quickly with it. They got taken out by Gravity. Strength of schedule-wise, that kind of evens out, and now they're taking on the biggest cheese, who got chucked out by Green Screen, but chucked out Conundrum Evo. A win here would do a ton for either machine, hoping to make the top 32. But let's see who takes it. 3, 2, 1. Activate, and here we go. The biggest cheese off the bat. Cease! Alright, quick and simple fight. Vertical spinner rewind, maybe not the choice. because the biggest cheese potentially have woken up after some iffy seasons. 2-1 now with a big win over Rewind. That one showed no signs of weakness. So credit where it's due, the biggest cheese, a big win for them, and now very likely that we will see this bot in the top 32. Here we are in the arena for a second fight. Two 0-2 machines here. We've got dual welded with the spring-loaded spinner. It's a tough 2 losses for them. Mosquito and Hulkbuster, 2 great machines, really. So they do have strength of schedule going for them. Red Bull, in the meantime, got wrecked by Jackhammer in their opening match. And then, who did they face second? Off the top of my head, I don't actually remember. But they lost to them. I think it was Titan, I believe, or Trident. I keep calling them Titan. I'm losing my mind. That's besides the point. These 2 machines heading into the arena looking for their first wins. Both probably have their seasons over. But 2-2 or even 1-3 would be better than 0-4. 3, 2, 1, activate. Now both machines getting up to speed, and Red Bull takes a big hit, flips himself over with the gyro. Dual welded, only 1 disc left, but it still is hitting hard. Nice little shots, but dual welded, they want a big one. They need to prove that their unique weapon style does work. Oh, that's a very nice one though. Very good hit. And now Red Bull getting hit by Minnow. Right back in the dual welded. Right back into Minnow. And Minnow just exploded. Oh no, we're gonna have to clean the arena after that one. There's bits and pieces all over the arena. How could this happen? Rest in peace, Minnow. You were probably the most useful house robot, ironically enough. Poor Minnow. In the meantime, this fight's still going just about the same. Red Bull now getting a shove in. There's the pit release button. Not quite on it, though. One of these bots will be getting their first win of the season, like we said. Dual welded really trying his best. Big shove from Red Bull. This is the best dual welded's looked all season. Red Bull, on the other hand, I mean, maybe the best he's looked all season. He hasn't looked that good, though, so that says a lot. Oh, big hit to the back of Red Bull. And now it's slowing down, maybe. Another shot from dual welded. Just the 1 disc seems to be enough for this machine. What a shot! Cease! Red Bull chucked out. They got given wings. Dual welded. That is a very nice shot to end the match on. And a very solid performance all in all. Minnow, just, yeah, it is what it is with Minnow. But Red Bull falling to 0-3, lost to dual welded, who really impressed in this match, in spite of losing one of their discs pretty much immediately. So credit where it's due, they do rack up 1 win, but it is probably not enough for them to make the top 32. Too late to have much impact. Here we are, 3rd fight of the night, 2 high-tier machines, one 2-0, the other 0-2, Red Hand, fighting for a really high seed, really. Strength of schedule, not amazing. Took on Apollo, who's currently 0-2, Green Screen, 1-1, not bad, and now OTA, who are perhaps the worst looking machine in the entire competition because they really just haven't worked. So, you know, not the most ideal strength of schedule, but still, a win here would guarantee top 32 without question, and could set him up for a very high seed. 3, 2, 1, activate. Ribcage in for Minnow because of Minnow's little, blowing up incident. It happens to the best of us, maybe. I don't know. No other house robots have done that. The pit, was it pressed? I think it was. And there it is, descending now. But it doesn't matter because it is all red hands so far. And what did we really expect? Going in reverse, going forwards, trying to get OTA into the pit, and it's not happening, but at the same time, OTA not doing much in return, in retaliation, because they're just not working, and that's right on those wheels. That disc of red hand, it's doing the damage, and it might have done enough damage. OTA falling over. There's only so much you can do here. And now, inside of Ribcage is corner patrol zone. That devastating hammer shot is going to miss entirely and just hit the edge of the arena. Like you do. I think that kind of summarizes Ribcage as a house robot. Red Bull getting underneath and churning away with that disc. Churning away. It is just... you know, English is like my 17th language, guys. Believe me. I learned Australian first, probably. That's just a total lie. The only thing I speak is American. And the only thing Red Hand seems to speak is the death of his opponents, because this is a carcass of OOTA. It is not moving, it is not firing the weapon. There is nothing there. And Red Hand 3-0 surely. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cease. And the Red Hand 3-0 playoffs guaranteed. Now they're just fighting for a top seed, which I think they will end up getting. In the meantime, though, you do have the disappointment that has been OOTA this season. 0-3 is still not a single successful attack, even. That's gotta hurt quite a bit. Maybe next season OOTA. Because I think your chances of playoffs are done. Here we are heading into the arena for a Connects battle. We have Distraught at 1-1 taking on Devil 0-2. Devil a bit unlucky. I think it's 2 judges' decision losses. I believe it was to Emerald and Teriyaki that he lost to. Distraught, in the meantime, took a win over Rattler by judges' decision before getting knocked out by a weaponless game over in his second match. Like I've said in the past, 2 losses as a low-tier bot, it might not be recoverable. So Devil definitely in trouble, but he can potentially end the season of Distraught here with a win. Distraught, they looked really deadly in both their matches with some very impressive shots, but lack of control and a pretty high ground clearance definitely hurts. 3, 2, 1. Activate, and here we go. Distraught getting that double spinner up to speed, but Devil slamming in with the egg beater drum. Trying to just stop his opponent's weapon from really getting up to speed, and a big hit from Distraught there. And now Devil trying to come in, trying to get that egg beater into play, trying to stop Distraught from getting himself up to speed, and a big shot. Absolute disappointment and a huge slam. Bullseye's corner patrol zone. Distraught. He's been here before. And it ended him before, but this time he lands on his wheels. One of his weapon teeth, though, not looking too good. Devil, his entire weapon, maybe not looking too good. But back into Bullseye's CPC. And another big flip, but Distraught survives. All of his teeth super low down now. But the egg feeder, look at how caved in it is on Devil. That thing's not going to be able to get many good shots, I'll be honest. Getting whacked about now. Distraught really trying to get into play now. But Devil still can try his luck on the corner patrol zones. And Bullseye has finally done it. He's flipped over Distraught and Ribcage hitting the underbelly. It's a KO for Devil this time. Unless he messes it up, which probably he won't, maybe. Alright. Flipped by Bullseye. The count starting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cease. Devil pulling off the win. It didn't look like it at a couple of points, but great use of the house robots. Bullseye being put in the arena right when Distraught comes in. Gotta hurt a little bit. Otherwise, it's pretty likely you would have won this match. Devil some good control to take down Distraught. They are 1-2. Their season was already probably done, but at least they can say they took a win. And Distraught here sitting at 1-2 now. Their season's certainly in danger. Their loss is not the worst, but I don't know. I don't think it'll happen. Only time will tell, though. Welcome back to the arena, ladies and gentlemen. The champion killer, Plank, decimated by Revenge of Armageddon in their grudge match main event. That was a stellar showing out of them. 2-0, fighting for the #1 seed now, without question. They take on Wavelength, who took a disappointing loss to Abel, and now sit at 1-1. A win here for Wavelength would be absolutely huge for their season, and probably guarantee them playoffs. In the meantime, Revenge of Armageddon is probably already guaranteed playoffs, but a win here would guarantee them surely at least a top 5 seed. Only one bot can win, though. 3, 2, 1, activate. Funny story about the last match. Bullseye's flipper actually broke under the weight of Distraught. In the meantime, Revenge of Armageddon getting a very solid opening shot and making Wavelength do cartwheels at the moment. Revenge of Armageddon is such a devastating machine. It's so hard to get close to them. They're so well driven, and Wavelength is finding that out firsthand, but they do get underneath and open the pit. Could they be trying to go for the safe strategy? Just win, baby. Just win. Is that the goal here? Because they're getting whacked. That might have been their only opportunity they get this match to even try to shove Revenge of Armageddon anywhere. Because at the moment it's not looking great. It's not at all. Big hits are sending Wavelength skyrocketing across the arena. That one absolutely had to hurt. And still getting just whacked about. The weapon on Revenge of Armageddon is too strong for Wavelength, it seems, and it's absolutely tearing into this Chinese machine. And it's flipped it onto its head. That one has got to hurt. Revenge of Armageddon certainly on top in this match. Wavelength does self-rights. But are they moving? I think the damage has been too much. I think it has. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cease. And a third win from Revenge of Armageddon. Surely that is the ticket, right? 3 KOs. One's an Uta, I think. Maybe, I don't remember correctly. But that is playoffs, surely. That is a top 5 seed without question. In the meantime, looking at wavelength, this is what I meant when I said 1 and 3 high tier bots will potentially be considered over 3 and 1 low tier machines. Because Wavelength has had a very tough season, and they are still pushing through. And they deserve a ton of credit for that. I think it's likely that they'll go 2 and 2, but even if they go 1 and 3, I think that they will potentially still be making the top 32. You never know, though. All Wavelength can do now is prepare for that 4th and final fight, Revenge of Armageddon, going into that 4th and final fight, looking for another statement win that would give them the number 1 seed, because that is what they're fighting for now. And we are back in the arena, reaching our main event, the big two, taking each other on TR5 and Derpy 18.0. That is the big match tonight. That one could be the deciding factor of who gets the 1 seed and who doesn't. But before that, we have 2 1-and-1 low-tier machines taking each other on. We have Apocalyptic, who took a quick and easy win over GoofyBot in a highlight fight back in round 1. But in their second match, they took on Demonic and were unable to keep up with the newcomers. In the meantime, Vertigo took on, I believe it was, Emerald in their opening match, and were unable to keep up with the grappling machine. But in their second match, they chucked Iron Awe 4 out of the arena. One of these bots very well may have their season ended with a loss here. The other one needs the win to stay alive. They both need the win to stay alive in this competition. Will it be the newcomers, the custom machine Vertigo, or the veteran of Apocalyptic? Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Activate. These two machines trying to come at each other, and Vertigo unable to initially get under Apocalyptic, and it takes a huge shot. That could have been bad. That could have been them stuck on their flipper. Oh, whacking the mini-bot into the Dutchman's corner, and I think it's dead, quite frankly. And Vertigo does get back up, but they get whacked right away. And again, that hurts a ton. Apocalyptic stunting any chance Vertigo has just because it's so much lower, and the pit release button is slowly rolling away. And Ribcage, big shot onto the top of Vertigo. So much damage that the spinner does. Sure. Oh, what a hit! Vertigo lucky to stay in the ring. Oh. But that saw on the underbelly, now that is where it does do damage. And the flipper on Vertigo stuck open. What has happened here? They actually do get underneath, though. Shoving them into the corner patrol zone. And Apocalyptic now, the ones feeling the wrath of, what's his name? Dutchman. Yes, I remember all of my House Robots names. This is going to need to be some expert driving from Vertigo if they want to win. And it's not Cease! Apocalyptic with a huge hit that sends Vertigo out of the ring. The low center of gravity was too low for Vertigo, and a single driving mistake was all that was needed. Apocalyptic moving to 2-1, their season still potentially salvageable. Vertigo, though, gonna be tough. It really is. Strength of schedule maybe is a claim that they can make, but it's gonna be a tough ask to ask the selection committee to put them in the top 32, even if they do manage 2-2. But hey, that's Robot Combat, right? Now all that's left for tonight is the main event, 2-0 machines, the most storied rivalry in the history of the series. TR5 and Derpy 18.0 meeting in our main event tonight. Here we are, we have reached the main event. These two machines have 5 titles between them. Well, not the machines themselves, the teams do, but it's the same difference. Back in the day, in Pre-Series 4 till Pre-Series 8, these were the 2 machines to beat. The best two machines in the world. Ironically, they only won about 3 of those 5-ish series, but, you know, is what it is. These two machines were considered the best in the world, the best of all time even, and they still are to this day considered two of the best machines in the competition. TR5, of course, second place last season. Derpy 17.0 managed 4th. But both made it to the grand final, and that's what really matters. This rivalry has been going on for a long time. Derpy 18.0, one of the few teams that has been competing since Pre-Series 1. TR3 was first introduced in Pre-Series 3 and was immediately a contender. Now, it's these two machines battling it out for 3-0. The winner of this match, very likely going to be taking the 1 seed. Their only competition is probably Revenge of Armageddon. Neither machine necessarily had the toughest draws. Derpy 18.0 took on Samurai and Medcart. Medcart, I believe, 1-1. Samurai, might be 0-3, to be honest. I don't remember if they fought last episode or not. But they're at least 0-2. TR5, in the meantime, took on Able and Panic Attack, both 1-1 machines with solid victories and embarrassing losses to yours truly. These two machines are entering the arena with years of a rivalry between them, but only one leaves the arena with an undefeated record still intact. Let's see who that is. 3, 2, 1, activate. Derpy 18.0, the first one under and the first flip of the match. These two met back in Series 7, I believe it was, the height of their rivalry back in Pre-Series 7. The grand final match, they were the top two. It didn't really matter. TR3, the arguably best version of the Tomb Raider machine, took out Derpy 7.0, sorry, with ease. It was not a contest, and at the moment it doesn't seem like a contest yet again, because it is just all Derpy 18.0, TR5 finally getting a good flip in, but right back to Derpy 18.0, getting all of the attacks, all of the flips in. They're just too low. This has always been the case for the Derpy machines. Their center of gravity, it's one of the lowest in the competition. It's such a hard bot to get under. And TR5 is also a very low machine. Missed the flip. They thought they had the advantage. They did not. That could cost them this whole fight because Derpy 18.0 not letting up on them at all. Another flip and another one. They flipped themselves now more times than they've been flipped by TR5. And it is all Derpy 18.0 so far. One attack from TR5, that is all that they've had, and some huge flips going to Minnow's Corner Patrol Zone, who has had that big old flywheel fixed, and another big flip from TR5 to Derpy 18.0, sorry, my goodness. The Derpy machine's always so powerful, and another one, that one, flips Derpy 18.0 over himself, so does that one. They're trying TR5 to get to the back, but the driving on Derpy 18.0 too good for them. And it's not even a close contest. This is really telling. Derpy 18.0, Derpy, the team, they have always tried to innovate, tried to make their design better. TR5 is pretty much the same as TR3, and that machine has been potentially years and years old, and it just doesn't seem to be good enough anymore. They need edits, they need revisions, potentially a TR6 even. Derpy 18.0 flips itself over again. That's like 5 times it's flipped itself over, and 1 time it's been flipped over by TR5. Oh! It almost goes out, just stays in. That time, Derpy 18.0 is dominating this fight. It's not a close one. It is not a competition. It is all Derpy 18.0. TR5 trying to get to the back, but misses the flip. And that is going to be so costly. That was one of the few opportunities they've been allowed, and cease. That is time. Derpy 18.0 surely 3 minutes of domination in this main event. This was hyped up. This is the most storied rivalry we've ever had. This is the competition for the 1 seed. These two bots are fighting it out. They're the real contenders for the title year in, year out, every single season. But it felt like there was a clear difference in level in this match. The judges will have to decide, but I don't think it's going to take very long. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this main event has gone to the judges. I think that's only happened one other time, back in episode 3 with Soichoku and Quality Control. I could be wrong, though. That said, that's not what matters. What matters is the decision. And the winner, by a 9-0 judge's decision, is Derpy 18.0. That is the most one-sided a decision can be and has been all season. We talked about how Quality Control survived against Soichoku. That was what happened. It wasn't really a fight. They just kind of lived until the 3 minutes were up. But they got a number of hits in. There were a couple of moments where we really saw what they were capable of. Here, TR5 got one attack and whiffed a bunch of others. And when your opponent flips itself more than you flip it, it says a lot, doesn't it? This fight was all Derpy 18.0, and that is the statement win that they needed to really cement themselves as contenders for the #1 spot. I don't think they'll lose to whichever low-tier bot that they face. I don't think Revenge of Armageddon or Red Hand will. But at the moment, I think those are the 3 machines that are really competing for the 1 seed. And I think after this display from Derpy 18.0, it very well might be them. With that, though, that is episode 10 done. And I will see you all next time for episode 11.